My question to you is I've made more bad hires than I've made good hires. But how do you make a great hire? What are the things you got to do? Always be recruiting, but what do you look for? How do you really narrow the gap when you're hiring? Because I think everybody needs to sit down right now and think about who they need to hire and listen to Ken, because he's hired some of the best for some of the numbers you're turning out, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, if you don't mind.
Well, obviously every role has a different personality type, right? And so, but I would say, if you want to ask me one of my core competencies, I would say is picking talent. And I just learned when I first got started, good, here's the profile of a good one. Here's not what I'm looking for, right? And so I am constantly searching for talent. And, when I see a guy that's, he's driven, he wants to better himself and his family, he's disciplined. So he's disciplined, he's driven, maybe not too creative, we can only have one Tommy Mello, right? Not too creative, and coachable, and all the other attributes.
But how do you find that out?
Obviously, well, you just spend a little time with them. I've got to the point now where I can kind of see it in somebody. Then you start talking a little bit, and you kind of get their background. But I went to this trade association Arizona meeting the other day, and they asked me to say something, and I said something about my GM here. But to give you an idea, so my GM in Phoenix, he's mid-30s, former F-16 Air Force pilot. He was graduating from ASU. He was retiring from the military, and he was graduating from ASU with an MBA, right? And I happened to meet him, a friend of one of my employees, actually. And I started talking to him, and I said, so what's your plans? He goes, well, I really want to go into mergers and acquisitions or be an investment banker, something like that. I go, you don't want to do that shit. I said, you want to be in air conditioning. And anyway, so I explained to him the opportunities of getting on board of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, and what the long-term vision of the company was, and where he could fit in, and the opportunities that he would be afforded by being a part of it. And one of them being, I said, look, worst case is you're going to come in and you're going to experience and learn how to run your own company. Here's the methods that we use to run a smaller business. And in terms of what we do, I think we're a little bit bigger, but in terms of all businesses, we're a small business, right? Somebody can come in and kind of duplicate and have his own thing. So anyway, I sold him on that. He graduated. He came to us. We put him through a training course, and he's taken the business and he's grown it 5x on revenue and multi millions of dollars on the bottom. But he didn't come from the trade. He doesn't know about air conditioning. He doesn't,
Well, that's interesting because...
But he has the discipline, the character. We gave him the systems. He owned the systems. He learned the systems. He started to execute on the systems. He didn't get distracted by the other stuff that you can get distracted because he didn't know any different. It's like what you said earlier, that I may regret knowing as much as I do. I mean, sometimes I do, because I know an air conditioner down to the last screw. But, and sometimes I'm distracted by that. But he was not. And I mean, I have countless stories like this, of identifying the talent. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't be afraid to look outside your own door. Don't be afraid to look outside your industry and, get some business managers.
But how do you find these great people from outside of the industry?
Well, you just got to go to work, right? Everyone you meet, you start talking to. I read something the other day. It said, people will join your team for the vision. People stay for the leadership, right? So you paint a nice, good enough vision of opportunity, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of very talented, educated people in big corporations who hate it. There's no future there. They're just drones. And you give them an opportunity to help build something, be part of something. Maybe there's something for them in the future. They'll sign up. Let me throw this one at you. I was, 2008. I was at a family barbecue in California. And there was a guy there, and he was somehow related to my wife's family. And I started talking to him, sharp guy. Him and I hit it off immediately. And we're talking about business because that's what I like to talk about. And so, we're talking about business. And, he was a senior VP at Otis Elevator. And he ran a huge region, $500 million of revenue. Been there for many, many years. Harvard MBA, polished, smart guy, but kind of had a little street side to him. Oh, by the way, when I look for these management types, I look for a little street in them, little street fighter, not too much, but nobody's fool, right? You got to pick somebody who's nobody's fool. So anyway, I get this guy, and he says the same thing as the fighter pilot. He goes, well, I'm retiring from Otis. He was only 50 at the time. And he said, I'm going to look for a president's job somewhere, another company. I said, you don't want to do that. Be some corporate drone, or work for a PE firm and get on the treadmill and just kill the last 10 years of your life that way. I said, come to me. I will teach you how to own your own company. Nice, clean, controllable business you can run. You live in San Diego, but you work with me for the next 5 years, and you will have that education. And so the guy came in, he took the deal. So I have a Harvard MBA, very accomplished business guy as one of my key guys, and this guy, he brought so much value to our company, so much value. And I still rely on him today as one of my key, mentors. But he went off, he finished our project, he bought a little company in San Diego, making good money, loves it. Everything that I told him would happen came true. So I guess the point of here is that you just got to go out and do the work and find these people and bring them onto your team, and go outside sometimes of your industry.